Hello, dear aquarist, dear fish keeper, and dear discus keeper or discus lover. Today I have a special case of a discus fish with a big amount of infections. Many different infections having an impact on the health of this discus fish. So let me show you my PowerPoint with the videos of the sick fish and the diseases I found. For me as a fish doctor, of course, very interesting to see this multitude of infections, not just one, but five. So I share you my PowerPoint where I can explain you what I found in this discus fish. A bacterial infection, gill flukes, Nematodes Capillaria, and tubercles in the gut. Many things. My books on fish diseases, if you don't have them yet, try to get them. Especially the new illustrated guide have a lot of details on diseases of discus. And here we show the discus fish suffering. Some had bad tails, had lesions. Not all of them. Some are in the beginning stage, but you can see those fish are not properly swimming. They are suffering. And that's the one we took out for examination. You see parts of the tail and parts of the dorsal fin and the pectoral fin have been damaged, and of course tail rot. Here are parts of the tail and the fins, and bacterial infection having impact on that organ, on the fins. The gills, they looked pale. And we examined the gills, look at the pale gills, the damaged gills. Bacteria having an impact on the lamellae and making the gill functioning very bad, very poorly. So that's why the fish are certainly suffering and eventually will die, because the gills are in such a bad case. It's like mankind. When mankind has pneumonia, it's very often a reason why people die when they have a viral infection, because they get pneumonia. Same for the fish. And we found gill flukes. Here we show you a video, a few gill flukes, but the gill flukes are causing damage and causing the risk of penetration of bacteria. The organs, well, was like a mix, another clear, easy view where to see the spleen, the liver, the intestine or gut. It was like a mix. And what we found, and we took out the gut or the intestine, we found tubercles. Here more, all inside the intestine. Most likely Mycobacterium. In most cases tubercles. In most investigations done by experts, by laboratories, but 90% of these cases with tubercles are caused by Mycobacterium or fish tuberculosis. And then we found also nematodes. Here are two of them, also in the gut intestine, Nematodes Capillaria. Here's another one. There were several Capillaria we found, and also we found the eggs. And that's something interesting to show you, because in your discus, and you deal with a very lovely, still good-looking discus, examine the excrements. Do that regularly. Why not? Those are free samples for examination without hurting or damaging the fish, but make sure you take those excrements fresh within the first minutes. Otherwise, they're going to be invaded with tetrahymena and other protozoa that like to eat excrements in the aquarium. So take them out freshly as you can, and those eggs can be found, and they will tell you, well, my fish are suffering from capillaria, so I need to apply a treatment against capillaria. You also can find induce excrements, parasites like Spironucleus or Nyctoterus or Balantidium or other worms. In the organs, on the left the spleen with melanomacrophage centers, and the right the liver, also with those macrophages that incorporate bacteria to protect the organ, but at the same time the organ loses function. So the discus treatment, well, I always tell in my presentations, the bacteria are usually the killers. They are the ones that make sure your fish will die. The parasites can take a long time before the fish dies, but the bacteria eventually is the one that damages the organs and make the fish suffer badly so they die. The nematode worms Capillaria are next to be treated, and repeat the treatment to kill the eggs. Follow the protocol as described in my books or in the leaflet that is supplied with the medication. Important to follow the directions. At the same time, you can try to kill the gill flukes, but there were not that many, but still, those are the first you have to try to treat. And at the same time, with using like fenbendazole in the water, you might also control the gill flukes. The tubercles, most likely Mycobacterium, are usually not possible to be treated because they are encapsulated and no medication can go inside that capsule. So try to improve the immunity and avoid poor feeding habits or practices. See my videos on fish tuberculosis where I explain what you can do about it and certainly how to prevent. A functional fish food can help this discus fish to become stronger, to fight off the infection, and in this case I would recommend pumpkin. You can also try garlic, but pumpkin would be a good choice of a food that helps with nutraceuticals, the fish. My books can tell you more. You should have them, especially when you're a discus lover. Or you want to have more training and knowledge about fish disease prevention or diagnosis, go to my Patreon. So this was a case of a discus with multitude of diseases, infections, not easy to treat. What is the best choice? Well, I recommended something, but maybe your practice might have been different, and you can comment on that. You can below put your comment if you have other ideas. No problem. I try to react and respond, and also other YouTube followers might find interesting your opinion or your ideas on how to treat the discuses with this complex multitude of infections. So you can see that my observation with the microscope explain me more than just the view of a fish with fin rot that was suffering. Follow my channel to keep on learning. Thank you for watching.